Hey guys, we're back in my Feed the Beast world again, and man, I have a long to-do list for this episode, so we're going to move pretty fast, see if we can cover a lot of ground. So, I have made a few minor improvements around here, moved my enchanting station inside. I kind of like this layout with the bookshelves. There's one extra, it's a total of 16 here. I tried a bunch of different things to find one that I liked, and this one seems cool. A nice thing about it is I could shut off these additional bookshelves with just 4 pistons in this layout. There are ways you could do it that would be even more efficient, but yeah, if I just put one here, one here, one here, one here, sticky pistons under those to push the blocks up, I can change this from level 30 to level 1 through 8. Added this little thing here. So there's an aqueous accumulator down there with the water source blocks on either side, of course, and this just gives me sort of a more compact infinite spring. I can pull water out of here and it'll just immediately fill back up into that tank. Can't even see it go away. So that's just there so I can fill up my crucible real easily. Because I was tired of just going over here and kind of trying to pull water out of this one source block. This is still here, of course, for the Bog Earth machine, but yeah. Other stuff, oh man, these biogas engines. They're awesome, but kind of annoying. They have a bug right now, which causes them to, if they're in operation, they'll sometimes get stuck and refuse to restart when their chunk gets unloaded and reloaded. Now, I haven't figured out the exact trigger for restarting them. So far, I've been able to restart mine without having to break them and put them back, because if I'd break them, they'd lose all the stuff inside them. Okay, this one doesn't have very much, so it wouldn't be a big loss, but it's something. It's annoying. I have these 2 tanks. You can stack these glass tanks on top of each other and just essentially increases their capacity, because I can pull lava out of either one of these and it'll be the same thing. So yeah, one for lava, one for biomass, just to have it around. I filled this up with magma crucible, which I've put over here. Right, so this thing, yeah, so this is my igneous extruder. Was making cobblestone, had this chest filled up. I had it making obsidian for me, because I stuck an aqueous accumulator below it to keep this filled up, and have a magma crucible behind it to keep it filled up with lava, which is supposed to be powered by these engines, but is not. So yeah, that's a known bug. There is a new version of Forestry, 1701, which fixes the issue, but it's for Minecraft 1.4.7, and Feed the Beast Minecraft pack is still in 1.4.6. So I tried messing around with it, seeing if I could get them to play nice with each other, but they wouldn't. So I may have to go back to multi-MC temporarily until Feed the Beast gets Minecraft 1.4.7 into it. So that's not too much of a pain. I sort of know how to do all that and have all of my mods downloaded, and yeah, I can just go back and forth as needed. Anyway, before we get to our chest to-do list, which worked really well last episode, I'm happy with that. I think I'll make it my thing. I just laid this little thing out here. This is probably where I'm going to put my villager trading, because I want to get that up and running soon. I know I said at the beginning I didn't want to do any exploitative trading, but I think I've sort of changed my mind on that, because it's better than the alternative. Because I'm so short on diamonds. I don't have any diamond tools, and you know, there's no such thing as cheating in this game. Like there are exploits, like item duplication is an exploit, but cheating is just determined by, you know, Etho talked about this once. It's just whatever is most fun for the person playing. I mean, you know, you have creative mode. I could go into creative mode and give myself blocks. Anyway, let's not talk about that. But yeah, so I'm just going to trade with villagers however is most convenient for me once I get them all breeding up in there. So, I learned a little bit about the various wrenches in this game. The crescent hammer is, oh boy, which one is this? This is from Thermal Expansion. Yes, okay, so I needed a crescent hammer in order to reorient. Actually, I'm not going to do it now, but hey, look, they started. Okay, now those are going, empowering this, and ooh, they're burning through their biomass quickly, so I'm going to refuel them. So I put down this magma crucible stupidly facing, so that the faceplate for it was on this side here. And of course, that's the one face that's not an output face, so I couldn't pipe it into the igneous extruder. And I'd already filled it up with some lava, so I figured out that you can use this crescent hammer to reorient thermal expansion machines after they're placed down. I'm not going to do it here because I don't want to break the output of that. But yeah, that's I can do it in this induction smelter. There we go. So that just spins it 90 degrees one direction. I think this might also work as an industrial craft wrench. Let's see. Can we pick up one of these machines? Like, so, no, I don't dare because it's not an electric wrench. Even if it, no, it has no durability, so I'll bet it doesn't. In that case, I'm going to try it. Yeah, it doesn't work that. I called this a BuildCraft wrench before. Apparently, this is actually from forestry. And yeah, it works on BuildCraft machines. This is the BuildCraft wrench, I believe. And these three, well, these two are both industrial craft. These are the same thing, just one charged, one not. Anyway, so we also have this liquid transposer. There's some stuff I want to do with this that we might get to this episode, but yeah, it's just a handy thing to have around. I showed this plenty in my test world, so you know, it just lets you pipe liquids into it and put them into buckets or other containers, or vice versa, put stuff in here and have them go into its storage tank. And it's useful for various things. I don't want any inputs or outputs on this right now. But yeah, we might get to doing something with that this episode. We might not. We'll see. Yeah, trying to fit a whole lot into half an hour. And look at that, I didn't start my stopwatch again. So, if I run overtime for this episode, that'll be one of the reasons. So, there's that. So, next thing I want to play around with is I really need to produce UU matter. Because I want iridium, because I really, really want quantum leggings. It's just killing me not having them. I'm running so slow like this. I want to get those as soon as I can. So this recycler is kind of taking its time with its materials. You know, the mass fabricator is a little bit of a bottleneck too, because, okay, so that's all filling up. So one of the things I want to do is get more power here. We'll talk about that in a minute, but also we need to make our recycler go faster. So how do you do that? There are these things you can craft called overclocker upgrades, and you can stick these into these slots, and you can stack them, so I can put like 12 in one slot, and it'll make this go way faster. So I'd like to demonstrate that. They're a little bit hard to build, so they take 3 10K coolant cells, which I used to think you had to use a water cell to build, which would take more tin than this, but you can actually do it like this with a water bucket, and you come out with a cell. Yeah, they gave that bucket back to me, I think. So, we're going to want some of those. So it does cost a bit of tin. Let's build one in a regular crafting table, and then I'll talk about... I had a question on one of my previous videos about crafting tables and automation. Like, what other ways can we craft things more easily than just manually putting the crafting recipe together? And I think we could take a look at some of that, because there's some cool stuff you can do. So, but first we're going to do overclockers. So I need 2 more to get 1 overclocker. And let's see, it was just an electronic circuit and some wire. So I might be a little bit short on copper for this, but we can build at least 1. And oh yeah, I'm very short on copper, man. Well, we can at least build 1 and see what it does. Need redstone, refined iron. Refined iron, just 1, yep. And redstone, 2. So here's an electronic circuit, and we need 2 more wires and these 3. And here we have an overclocker upgrade. So let's make some stuff to put into the recycler. I've just been sticking with these slabs because they're unlimited and easy to produce. So we're just going to stick a bunch in the hopper, let the recycler go, actually turn this off so it doesn't suck our bat box dry too quickly. So you can see the speed that's going. Watch what happens when we do this. Quite a bit faster. So like I said, you can stack these. I found you can actually stack them up to about 13 and still have this thing work. There's some various other stuff. There is, in addition to the overclocker upgrade, there's also there are transformer upgrades. These are what you need to put into machines if you want them to work with an MFE or an MFSU. So it needs 1 to work with the output of an MFE and 2 to work with the output of an MFSU, because they just put out more EU per tick than a bat box, and machines will explode if they don't have those installed, so they're very important for that. There's also an energy storage upgrade. These are a little more complicated to understand in a sense. I mean, it's simple what they do. They make the internal storage of this machine larger, but the reason that's needed is because power only comes in at certain intervals, and if you have enough overclockers in here, that this will burn through its entire energy store in less than a tick, I guess it is, which with 13 overclockers it would do that. Then you need the energy storage upgrade to be able to use that much energy, or else it'll just be running out every tick and then getting it back in again. And yeah, so if you have enough overclockers, you need an energy storage upgrade. If you have more power input coming in than a bat box provides, you need a transformer upgrade. I'd like to build an MFE at some point soon, but it takes 4 diamonds, and I think I actually have 6 now. Got a few out of that Twilight Forest cave. Yeah, 6 diamonds, so that's not so bad. We could build an MFE. Might do that. But yeah, let's look at crafting tables. So let's see what we have available to us. So we have the plain old crafting table. There's this auto crafting table, which is a build craft thing. This is pretty cool. Let's not get to that quite yet. Let's see. Let's look at the project table. Oh, 1 second. Okay, I had a stink bug buzzing around my room again. Had to evict him from my house. Those stupid things are all over the place. But anyway, so project table. So we need a chest, 2 pieces of wood. Oh, yeah, look at this. This accepts the special forestry wood. And 3 pieces of stone. So apparently, in the new version of forestry, those trees are no longer found in dungeon chests. They're actually there's a breeding system for trees. And I don't know too much about how it works. It involves bees somehow, but yeah, I'd really like to get the forestry update and play with that a little bit. But yeah, let's build this crafting table. I have one on me. Good. So here's a project table. We'll just stick it next to our crafting table here. So the way this thing works, as I understand, let's see if we can build a another. Well, okay, let's build some copper cables. So how do we do this? So we put one there, one there, one there. If I just put these in its inventory, then I can click on this, and it will consume those from its inventory, but doesn't clear the recipe out here. So if I wanted to make another one of these, which I will actually want to, in fact, another yet, it'll just take it from there. So that's pretty cool. That stays around. So you could put a whole bunch of these around to keep different recipes. I think there's a way. Let's see what goes in here. Is it blueprint? No, it's not a blueprint. It's a let's see if we can figure this out. There's a way you can put some sort of blueprintish thing in there, which will let's see. It's a template. No, which allows you to keep a crafting recipe around and restore it in that same project table later. So hoping I'll run across it here. I am not seeing it. So all right, I have to look that up. This is a red power thing. I might have already said that. But for now, we'll just use it as it is. So let's insulate this cable. Need more rubber. Yeah, just do that. And oh well, now I'm just using it like a crafting table. Let's see, how many of these do I need? 16 of them. Okay, so we're going to make, we need some redstone, refined iron, and water buckets. I'm running out of buckets, actually. I have to keep crafting more because a lot of these thermal expansion machines take buckets as part of their recipe. I guess it's because they store liquids. I forgot my refined iron, but that's nice because I put the stuff in the crafting grid, so now I don't have to leave my don't have to drop it on the ground or anything to walk away and get some resources I need. Okay, so that there. And, okay. And I want 2 of these. 1, 2. Lovely. And we want 10K coolant cells, which takes 10. Let's see what this does with the buckets. Okay, that's interesting. The empty bucket goes into my inventory. All right. So we're going to want to use those in a minute. Yep. Okay. Right. I got a little confused there. Right. So those are actual items. That's not just a map of the items to make. Like there are items in those slots. So, yeah, this would work better if, yeah, let's do it this way. Okay. Let's get 3 more buckets of water. I'm probably not doing a very good demonstration of this, but you can at least see how it works. I'm just not using it very optimally. Because ideally you'd want to have 1 more of the thing you want to craft than the amount that you're actually using with it. So there, and there. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Good. So now we want to craft our thingies. 1 there, and 1 there, 1 there. 1, 2. Beautiful. Okay, so more overclocker upgrades. That'll make this thing go faster, and it's out of stuff to do, so I'll just give it straight cobblestone. I have infinite cobblestone anyway. Oh, look at it go! Yeah, that's nice and quick. But you wouldn't believe how fast this goes with like 13 upgrades in it. It's just, it goes through a stack of items in a few seconds, so it's nice. I'm going to get there eventually, but yeah, we just need lots of scrap to run with our mass fabricator. Yeah, so we'll look at the auto crafting table a little bit later. There might be more for all I know. There's, let's see. I searched for crafting and just found only so much things. Okay, so assembly table 1, 2, and 3? I have no idea what these are. The uncrafting table. Assembly table is something else. I'd really love to build one of those, but it takes 5 diamonds. A little bit expensive. So let's see. Let's actually, well, let me check my to-do list. So, okay, we'll get to the uncrafting table in a moment. Yeah, that's next after this. So the pulverizer that we built an episode or 2 ago is actually pretty much a better macerator because it gives you these pulverized things instead of dust. So the thing about it, though, is that if you... wrong thing. Pulverizer. Here we go. So if you were to, say, macerate iron ore, you would just get 2 iron dust each. But if you pulverize iron ore, you get 2 pulverized iron, which you can smelt up just the same, and a 5% chance to... well, okay, this is a bad example, because ferrous dust, I don't think this actually has a use yet. You can smelt it into ferrous ingots. We've seen that ferrous ore. I'm using it above my ore chest. But this doesn't have a use. Like, I right-click it, and it does nothing. So, I don't know. We can at least stockpile it in case it's given a use later. But yeah, we might as well just use the pulverizer instead of the macerator. I think it takes less power too. Well, it's MJ instead of EU, but let's just go ahead and pulverize... Actually, I want to pulverize some obsidian, because I'd like to make hardened glass. But watch how quick this goes. Okay, that's not that quick. But, well, the macerator can't make pulverized obsidian. Anyway, yeah, so I'm going to want to, let's see, I think I actually need pulverized lead to make hardened glass. Yeah, so I don't want to smelt that up into lead ingots. The only time I would do that is if I wanted to build one of these, which I will. We'll talk about that in a bit. Or if I wanted the nuggets for transmutation, which I might if I end up with a surplus of tin and not much to do with it. So let's move on to the next thing. Next thing is, so I went back to the Twilight Forest. I was talking about this before. I mined out a bunch of stuff in that hollow hill we saw last time. Yeah, I'll get to... Oh, yeah, here's some from... I pulverized some... Right, this was a bonus from pulverizing this lead. I got a little bit of extra silver. Right, so I mined out the hollow hill a little bit, and in the course of doing that, I died a couple of times, and would you believe it, my spawn got reset again. So I actually had to make that walk from 2 kilometers away at spawn Not once more, but twice more. That sucked. So I did a little bit of research and found out that, and some testing in creative mode actually, and found out that where your spawn is in the overworld, or in one dimension, affects where it is in the other dimension. Because, you know, normally in Minecraft you can't sleep in multiple dimensions. There's, if you try to sleep in the nether or the end, your bed just blows up. So if I had last slept in this bed, then I died in the Twilight Forest, my bed would be missing or obstructed because there isn't a bed at those coordinates in the Twilight Forest. So what I think I want to actually do, I've already picked up the bed that I set down out here. I have my coordinates, the coordinates of my bed and the overworld noted down. We need to be at 1929, 72, negative 854. 1929, negative 850, what's burning? Something's burning. Negative 854. Okay, so, and then an altitude of 72 right above this. So I forgot to bring any blocks with me, but we'll just put down a torch here. I'll do that later. A few torches so I know this is the spot. Yeah, this spot right here. Our bed will be going on this spot, and then if we die in either dimension, we can have our spawn set to the same place, and we'll come back to somewhere near our home. So that'll be a little more convenient. Since I'm in here, while I was emptying out that hill, yeah, we wanted to check out the chest that we had seen there last time, but I didn't have time to because I had to end the episode there. I cleared out most of that place and took a peek in some of those chests, and there is some really cool stuff in there that I wanted to show on camera. So I didn't loot it. I think I took like 1 diamond out of it because because it was there. But let's take a look at them and talk about them on camera. Yeah, I could have cleared this whole place on camera, but it would have been a bit monotonous. Like, oh yeah, still plenty of redstone up there. Gold. Kind of hurts to grab this stuff without a fortune pick. Really, really desperately need one of those. But anyway, I've marked my chests. Apparently this one's amazing. Let's see what's in it. Okay, so this one has an uncrafting table. We will talk about that in a bit. And this little thing here, I suppose this does. I actually have no idea. Ooh. Ooh. Cool. Okay. Oh! Ah! What happened? Cost 1. Did that do anything? Alright, let's get some ores on the ground. Maybe it picks them up off the ground for me. Made an Enderman noise. Alright, so there's some gold. I'll just hover and mine some. Oh, that's hard to do. There we go. Oh, the stupid pick. It's not very fast. Well, see, I'm just picking that up. Alright, let's toss some on the ground. So here's some gold. I'm going to hold this. Okay, it's not doing anything. If I'm pointing at that... What?! Okay, so that was still on the ground. What? What happened? Okay, so it has only so much durability. Alright, so I'm here. I'm going to hold this, point in this direction. Actually, let's point at the ground, because that seemed to work last time. Whoa! This thing is crazy! Whoa! I don't know exactly what that's doing, but it's very cool. Okay. But I used it up. Does that thing have a crafting recipe? It does not. Okay, so I just have to find them. Very interesting. I don't know whether that was creating ores or pulling them from a nearby place. When I aimed at the gold ore that was on the ground, these blocks popped into existence. Maybe because there was dirt down there. I'm going to have to go to some place that doesn't have any ores nearby and try that out, assuming we can get another one. Which I know we can, because I've peeked into these other chests, and there's other stuff in here. Okay, so we have transformation powder. I don't actually know what that does. Let's see if I can use it. Ooh! Well, it sparkled. I'm not transformed. Alright, I don't know what that does. I'll have to do some research. Maybe it has a use. Or maybe, I wonder if, like, let's try using it on this spider. Hold still. Oh! It turned to cave spider! Weird. Okay. So that does stuff. I'm gonna have to try this on all sorts of things. Very interesting. I was wondering if I maybe use it on the blocks to that one tower we couldn't get into. I don't like how low my health is. And maybe it would transform them into something I could actually chop through. I don't know. But, oh, since we're looking at this, this is ironwood. Or live root, whatever. It can be turned into ironwood, which makes some rather nice armor. And can you make tools out of it? Yeah, you can make tools out of it. They come pre-enchanted, which is interesting. Oh, I know that's an axe, fortune 1. Efficiency 1. Helm comes with aqua affinity, which is nice. Feather falling in the boots, yeah, that'd be worthwhile. So, oops. So that stuff's worth grabbing when you see it. You know, it's not going to be nearly as good as like enchanted diamond armor or anything, but it's cool, like a nice, slightly better than iron sort of thing. You turn it into ironwood by combining it with those materials, and then smelting it. Then you get ironwood ingots, and you can make stuff with them. So let's check this third chest. Ironwood ingots, there we go. More transformation powder. Flower pot. Okay, I'm pretty sure there's a fourth chest around here because I know I saw another ore magnet. Oh, fourth and fifth. How about that? Here we go, another ore magnet. There's a zombie coming for me. Go away. Oh, there's a whole bunch of ironwood right there, and there's a dark spot with lots of mobs in it. So let's raid this real quick. Another ore magnet and a charm of life. What do you suppose that does? Go away, things. Probably out of arrows here. Yeah, I have 2 left. Great. Still haven't solved my arrow situation. My chickens are still just sitting in a tiny little hole. I need to move them into a real farm and actually, man, I see ores. I just can't resist mining them. So I honestly have no idea what this does. Can combine them to make a charm of life too. How do I? Can I like put it on? Or no. Does it refill my health faster? Can I? I can't use it. I don't know. Maybe if I have it on me, my health refills faster? I have no idea. Anyway, so that was some fun stuff in Twilight Forest. Just to save some time, I'm going to cut out this run back, and I'll see you back at my base. Alright, I'm back, and I've cleared it, dropped off some of my loot just to clear out my inventory. So let's take a look at this uncrafting table. For the moment, I'll just stick it here next to my other tables. So this thing allows you to, for a small experience cost, turn an item into the components that are used to craft it. So if I spent 3 levels, I could turn this bucket into 3 iron ingots. I'm not going to actually do it here. Actually, yes, I am. So as soon as I click one of these, we get the item back out and can take all of them. So it spends those 3 levels immediately and gives you the materials. I'm going to test if there's an exploit I accidentally found with this. I'm going to test if it's still in the game. I will toss the extra item if I do get one. If you shift-click this bucket, let's see, how does this work? If I shift-click this, no, I just get the bucket back. I had some way, what if I shift-click one of these? No, that didn't work. Okay, I guess they fixed it. There was an exploit before where you could uncraft something, get the materials out of it, and also keep the original item by shift-clicking a certain thing. So I think this also works as a crafting table. Yeah, so I can craft in it. Yep. So that's that. So the reason this is really interesting, aside from the obvious, is that, okay, so I can't get any of these diamonds back out because this is too worn down. If I look at this sapphire pickaxe, I can only get 2 because it's partially worn down. So yeah, the reason this is interesting is because if I were to have a villager trading setup, where I could, say, trade paper to a librarian for emeralds, then trade emeralds to a blacksmith for diamond gear, I could just take that diamond gear over to an uncrafting table, and at a small level cost and some cheap materials like paper to get emeralds, I could manufacture diamonds. So that's the one cheaty way to get diamonds that I talked about before. I'm still undecided about whether I will use it. I might. Depends on just how short on diamonds we remain and whether I feel like getting a bunch like that. But that seems that's borderline cheating. Like that's clearly an exploit. It's not actually item duplication, but it's it's close enough. So I'll probably avoid using that one, but I will trade villagers for diamond tools just to use for enchanting and fortune and things. So that's that. That's the uncrafting table. Let's see what else we have on here. So there is a mod that I have really been meaning to... I should have done it much earlier. Oh, look, our engines are stuck again. Stupid things. Sometimes they'll realize they're stuck and restart. But yeah, I'm going to have to find a way to update to the newest forestry to fix that, because I want to use these things all over the place, and I can't have them doing that. Like, if I turn it off, it'll start cooling off a bit. I can turn it back on, and, you know, it'll heat back up to the maximum. But, oh! Okay, well, that time it fixed it. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Okay, so it's cooling off. Turn it back on. Heats back up. And now it's just stuck, even though it could do work here. There's another thing I'm going to try after we talk. Oh, yeah, I should get these smelting. Yeah. Oh, we need to look at some better furnaces at some point, too. So I'll just split these up. You can smelt soul sand using this mod. It's called Soul Shards. And when you've smelted a piece of soul sand, it gives you vile dust. Vile dust can be crafted into corrupted essence along with glowstone. Corrupted essence along with some obsidian and stone makes a soul forge. Okay, I'm not actually sure. I assume I need this for doing the rest of the stuff with the mod. Oh yeah, okay, so a soul forge, I guess, smelts things with corrupted essence or infuses stuff with it or something. What the? Why would you... See, I would assume that consumes the corrupted essence. Why did you put gold ore in here just to get one back again? Wait. That gives you... Huh? I don't understand this thing. But anyway, there's some way... Wow, that's really weird. There's some way to use this stuff. Maybe that's a not enough items bug. To get a soul shard. And a soul shard. Here we go. Oh, well now it's showing me. Okay, so I can put this in a soul forge with a diamond. This will give me a soul shard. What a soul shard does is it allows you to store up the souls of mobs you kill, and when you have enough, you can put them into this thing called a soul cage, which is crafted pretty simply, and that essentially turns into a spawner. So let's say I wanted to... Oh, there are some very interesting uses for that. Let's say I wanted to farm wither skeletons. What you can do with that is if you kill a bunch of skeletons in the overworld, craft their soul shards into... yeah, I want to make a soul forge while I'm talking. Craft their... craft the soul shard you get out of that into a soul cage. I assume you craft it, or maybe you just stick it in. I don't know. We'll figure that out as we go. Then you can get a skeleton spawner you can pick up and take with you. And anytime a skeleton in the nether spawns, there's some chance it'll be a normal one, some chance it'll be a wither one. So with that, you can make a spawner that spawns wither skeletons and get wither skeleton skulls very easily. So there's lots of other fun stuff you can do with that. Wait, that's not right. I need corrupted essence. So I need some glowstone. All right, I got some glowstone. I'm just going to go ahead and do all this because I don't think there's another use for vile dust. So let's try crafting this thing again. So here's a soul forge. I'm just going to stick it here for the moment. I assume you can pick it back up again. Yep, sure can. I don't like this pick. Stupid unbreaking and nothing else. Oh yeah, so 500 points of durability is how much these have. Same as steel. Can't break obsidian, so it's pretty much identical to steel, I guess, unless it has better enchantability. I don't know. But I don't think I have an immediate use for those materials right now, and I do have uses for iron and steel, so maybe I'll just go with sapphire, green sapphire, and ruby picks for the moment. Okay, so let's try... I have some spare gold and iron ore. Let's see if those give me soul shards, because not enough items is showing me that a little bit funny. Let's try one of each. And heck, I'm going to try a diamond too if those don't give me a soul shard. If they do give me soul shards, then I'm going to prefer that to using up my diamonds. But we'll put this in here, iron ore. Okay, so it looks like it's smelting. Pull this out. Let's make sure I'm right. There's no other use for that. Yes, only for corrupted essence. According to not enough items, at least. Corrupted fragment. Okay, that's different. Corrupted ingot. Vile sword. Interesting, interesting. Okay, so that's different. All right, so we do have... Oh! Gold gives you an actual corrupted ingot. Okay, so let's go ahead and put a diamond in there, because I would like some soul shards. That'll give me 3 of them. So I'll do 2 more iron ore so we can make 2 corrupted ingots to make that cool sword and see what it does. Turns out these 2 engines were stuck because they were out of fuel. That's a good reason. Diamond's taking a real long time to smelt, so yeah, we're going to wait a bit. Actually, why wait when you can multitask? So let's go on to our next to-do item while that's going. I would like to get some more energy generation going here. I have this one biogenerator which was running on biomass. I want to add 2 more, and also... Oh, that's interesting. I'm going to have to change this layout at some point, but yeah, this will do for now. I'd really love to get an MFE in there instead of a bat box. Yeah, I'll probably just do that. But you know what? Yeah, screw it. We're going to do it right... we're going to build it right now. No. I'll do that off camera. Anyway, MFE is just... MFE... it's like a second-tier bat box, holds more power, takes 4 diamonds to craft. Some redstone, gold... Yep. That basic stuff. Yeah, I'll do that off camera in between episodes. But right now, what I want to do is I want to get 2 more biogenerators up and running and putting power into this bat box. And I would like to have them running on biofuel instead of biomass, because apparently that's much more efficient. I would love to change... You know what? I can change the layout of this. Whoops, we left that on. I'm going to turn this off just for a moment. Move this over here just to keep our forestry and thermal expansion machines together. Dang it, there's a water pool down there. All right, well, I'll move that later. For now, I would like to use a still. Oh, maybe this does want water. Actually, that's very convenient. Yeah, let's do it that way. So I want to put a still there and start producing some biofuel from biomass. Maybe... Oh, no, this doesn't want water. Anyway, that doesn't matter. So let's take some biomass, put it in here, and get this thing going. Turn you on. And hopefully it should... Do I have to do anything else to it? After a little while, I think this should probably turn that into biofuel. It is really taking its time, though. I assume we have to wait for this meter to hit 0. So we'll check back on that in a little bit. Let's check our diamond. About halfway done. All right, let's go on to our next to-do item while we wait for these slow things to do their thing. Oh, I already pulled it out. So, I want to play with some BuildCraft pipes. Let's just make a whole bunch of cobblestone. Ooh, that's too many. Let's not make quite that many. So, ooh, that's already 2 stacks. Okay, so 2 stacks of cobblestone transport pipe. Let's actually make all of the types, because they all do different interesting things. I'll just make a few of the more expensive ones, and actually probably no diamond ones right now. But, so cobblestone, stone... wood, sandstone, forgot that one, chiseled, nah, right, I had that for thaumaturgy. Okay, so there's sandstone and wood. Wooden ones are actually really important. I'll make a bunch. So, these are what allow you to both move MJ around and move items around with BuildCraft stuff. So let's actually make some of these conductive. So I want some conductive wooden pipes, which you do just by combining them with redstone, and some conductive stone pipes. I believe cobblestone doesn't let you do it like that. So what I can do with these is... oh, we have some biofuel. Cool. This thing is really, really slow. Interesting. What is going on here? Okay, so that went to 0. Ooh, okay. So it's Takes a lot of biomass to turn into biofuel. I for some reason I thought it would be 1-to-1, but okay, so we got to fill this all the way up with biomass to get just a little bit of biofuel. Okay, that's fine though. That'll make it more efficient than these things. So, yeah, so we see how that works. I'm going to turn this off for the moment in order to try something. So we'll pick up that engine. If our inventory weren't so full, 1 sec. All right, that's a bit better. So we pick up that engine and its stuff. I'm going to attempt to power... I'm going to attempt to power these two machines at the same time. Oh, actually, you're full, so let's pull some stuff out of you. So that'll actually do something. So the way these pipes work is I can take an engine. Actually, let's put that pipe down first. Okay, so a wooden conductive pipe is going to go right here. 2 stone conductive pipes are going to go in front of it and connect to these machines. If I put a peat engine right here, it will, when I turn it on... Oh, what? How to do that? Must have put it in the wrong slot. It will power both of those machines at once. So this is just like those industrial craft wires, but for MJ instead. So that's pumping into these, and the way it distributes power is a little bit different. The pipes themselves actually store a bit of power. You can sort of see this blue line. I'm not sure exactly how that works. I know it means power is flowing through the thing, but I know there's more to it than that too. So by some set of rules, these things will consume the power in the pipes. And yeah, so the still is being powered. It's a little hard to see, but let's see if that moves. I'm sure it will. And yep, there it goes. And the fermenter is getting a little bit of extra power from this too. And ooh, it is going too fast. Hey slime. Gotta keep emptying this out of it. And yeah. So that's how we're gonna do our MJ behind the wall setup like I was talking about. So I'd like to get some engines back here, just have conductive pipes connected to the backs of all of these things. Now, yeah, the problem with that is if the energy isn't consumed and it just builds up forever in the pipe, shut up, slime. The pipe will explode. Explosion doesn't do any damage. I think it can damage the player, but it doesn't damage any blocks. So, I need to figure out a little bit about how to control that. There are these things you can put on conductive pipes called gates. You can put them on normal pipes too, that allow you to... they're pretty fancy. I want to get to them, but you need an assembly table and a laser to make them, which takes a total of 5 plus 2. Okay, so 7 diamonds to make. And you need a minimum of that to run it. So I want to get there, but I'm so short on diamonds. But anyway, so we played with those a little bit. That's my plan for moving MJ around. And let's check on our soul forge. We have 3 soul shards, and let's stick some iron ore in there to get some more corrupted fragments. And I think we're just about out of time for this episode, but probably actually run over by quite a bit. But I think a good place to end it would be to make this vile sword out of these and see what sort of thing that does. I know there's something that can... that's a waste. Oh well. I know there's... Actually, let me just pull that out. I know there's a thing which, is it just a stick? Hopefully. Oops, need to craft that first. There is a thing, an enchantment, which is called Vorpal. It'll decapitate mobs, so you can get zombie and creeper and enderman heads and skeleton. But yeah, okay, so this sword, let's find something to use it on. Oh, we found something. Hey, creeper. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Didn't give me anything special, so I don't know. Its durability is 250, so a little less than twice as much as a stone sword. I don't know. I'm not sure what this is for. I don't think I have to use it. Oh, I should have had one of those in my action bar. Because, yeah, the way you charge up these soul shards, I believe, is by killing stuff with one of them in your action bar. Maybe the first thing you kill will become a... It'll become that kind of soul shard. I don't want one for slimes, but it would have been great if I'd had it with that creeper. So I'm going to go find myself another creeper. There, I found one. Let's see what this does. I'm going to use the Vile Sword, and I have a Soul Shard on me. 2, 3. Okay, I got a crit before, so 4. Okay, so the Soul Shard has changed. It is... Zombie? Oh, I killed a zombie on the way here. Oops. Dang it. Alright, I forgot about that. Okay, so I killed it with a stone sword, so sword type doesn't matter. It's just if you have it on your action bar, it'll turn into that type of mod. Okay, mob. Alright, so we have a zombie Soul Shard. If you get 1,024 of them, it goes up to tier 5, is it? The tier determines how fast... Here we go. 64, 128, 256, 512, 1,024. The tier determines how fast your spawner will... Oh, that's cool. Where does this come from? Huh. How fast your soul cage spawner will go. Apparently there's some special stuff about those spawners, like they run even if a player's not close to them, if they receive a redstone signal, I think. And mobs from them will drop their items even if they're auto-killed or something like that. It sounds a little bit overpowered, but I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to go around with these soul shards on me and try to charge up a bunch of different mob types from them. And yeah, we'll have some fun with soul cages at some point. Anyway, I better wrap it up here before I go even more over time. Ooh, my stopwatch says almost 40 minutes, and I know I wasn't running it for the beginning of this episode, so this is probably going to be a long one. Didn't get to all the Buildcraft pipe stuff I wanted to. I honestly don't know my way around here. I'm just wandering at random. But we'll try to get to that next episode. So, see you guys later.